Hey, Hiran here and welcome to the cascade tutorial. This is really exciting because this is one of the most impressive, surreal, streamy, flowy kind of card flourishes. And you know, with the vert deck, it just looks so good. It looks like colored streams of sand. It's just flowing through an hourglass from one hand to the next. You rarely see it around because people think it's so difficult. But the truth is that if you know the right technique, it's really straightforward. That means it's not even half as difficult as you think it might be. And most of it is really self-working and automatic, if you know the right technique. So let's get started. How does the cascade work? First, the deck is split into two even packets, which are then weaved perfectly and placed in this V position right here. Now you can see it's held by the thumb and the pinky with your index finger supporting everything at the top. Now executing the cascade is just a simple matter of letting go with your index finger and allowing the cards to just start sliding off the top because of gravity. Look, so let go, they start sliding off the top. I catch it with the other hand and the cards come to a close. Of course, you might be thinking, yeah, that's pretty straightforward, but how about the whole pivoting, merging of the two streams thing? Well, that's actually automatic as well. You see, when you weave the two packets together, what you get is that when you release the cards, one card will fall from each packet, right? It makes sense because they're alternating. So what happens is that because they're supported by the thumb and the pinky, the cards will actually pivot off these fingers. So this will pivot off the pinky and the card from here will pivot off the thumb. Now, as you can see, when they pivot, they merge into a single stream. So it's really automatic. Because of that V shape, all they're doing is just falling and they'll naturally merge into a single stream and you're just catching it in the other hand. You know, in a spring, you have to control the flow of every single card all the way to the end. So if you don't, you kind of look like not very cool at all. You have to get it constant, so it looks like that. Well, with a cascade, it's just completely the opposite of that. You know, you're just letting go, allowing friction and gravity to do its thing, and you're just waiting for the cards to just flow to a beautiful close, and that's it. So once you know the technique of the cascade, it is essentially automatic. Yet, despite how sexy and flowy and straightforward and automatic the cascade is, why is it so rarely seen in videos? And when we finally do get to see it in a video, most of the time what you see is one that's really short and tiny, or you see one that this takes forever to set up, and when you finally see it set up, it just goes and then it's just over, you know? Why? Well, we believe it's because the cascade has always had a really awkward handling, and the awkward handling limits how good it can look and makes it more difficult than it should be. In other words, you just knowing how the cascade works, that isn't enough. What's just as important as knowing how it works is how to work it to its maximum potential. Well, that all boils down to the handling of the move, its technical design. Once you know this concept, you'll be able to apply it to every single card flourish and you'll be able to make it better than everybody else's. So let me explain this concept to you by first showing you the awkward classic handling of the cascade. Step 1. Split the deck into uneven packets. Step 2. Weave the two packets together awkwardly and then put them into a V. Now, why the uneven packets? Because the small packet needs to get shoved into the big packet, and then you're gonna let go completely with your right hand and use your index finger to just squish everything together. Okay? And as you're praying for everything not to fall, you're gonna shift your right hand into this rocker position with your wrist all twisted like that. And then you're gonna hold the cards like this. Here's actually the big reason why most cascades are so small. It's because it's really difficult to move up because your wrist is in a horrible position. From there, put your left hand in a twisted wrist position as well, like this. And both of them are just in this painful position as you let go. And the cascade just ends, and it's a small, tiny, sad cascade that takes forever to set up. Now this is awkward because first of all, the highlight of the cascade is a cascade. If your setup is taking longer than the move itself, it looks pretty strange. Secondly, because of the design, one packet has to be bigger than the other packet, which means you're never going to end up with a perfect barrel. In other words, some cards are going to be weaved and other cards are not going to be weaved. That means that your flow of the cascade is just not going to look good because you're going to see cards flowing like that. Then you see the unweaved cards flowing down, and that makes everything shorter, it makes everything clumpier, and it just looks messier. You don't have that merging stream, and it just looks strange if it goes like boom, 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 la 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 la, boom, boom, la la, you know, it's just weird. And it just totally breaks the flow and the beauty of the cascade. Next, you have this weird, strange upside down rocker grip, and what you get is this. You have your wrist bent in an uncomfortable position, you can't really raise your hand, limiting the height of the move, and then you have these two fingers bent in, and that limits your control and support of the packet. Finally, the receiving grip is really strange because not only is your wrist bent as well in that strange position, you're catching the cards in a weird sideways straddle grip, which means that your thumb is up like that, blocking an already short cascade. So as you can see for yourself, it's a really slow and awkward handling, which limits how good a cascade could look and makes it more difficult than it should be. Well, the good news is that we've completely redesigned the handling for the cascade and we've eliminated all of those problems. And in the next video, I'm going to share with you this brand new handling that allows you to split the deck into equal packets, weave them into a perfect pharaoh so you get a sexier cascade. A super fast transition from the pharaoh to the V, which doesn't require you to clip all the cards in one hand and risk dropping them on the floor. A modified grip for the V that allows you to raise your hand and extend the length of your cascade. And finally, you're going to learn a brand new receiving grip, allowing you to catch the cards easily in your hand, and it also keeps your wrist in a really comfortable position. You're not bent like that, it's just completely neutral all the way. And this grip also allows your thumb to get out of the way so that it never blocks the cascade. So basically, your cascade is going to look super duper awesome and it's going to be super easy to do. And now that you know how it works, it's time to move on to the actual handling of the move. I'll see you in the next video.